Thank you for stopping by the channel today. If this is your very first time, my name is Chuck, and on this channel we deal with everything Corvette. And just like the thumbnail and the title says, today I'm going to be talking about the C7 Grandsport and why I believe this should be your next Corvette. Now, if you're not familiar with Corvettes, there's 5 different levels of Corvettes. There's the standard Stingray. There's also the Stingray with the Z51 package, which is more built towards those who are going to track the car. There's also what's called the Grandsport. Then there's the Z06, and then the king of Corvettes, the ZR1. To me, the Grandsport, which is kind of the middle child of the family of Corvette, is really, to me, the sweet spot. It's really the middle of the bat as far as what it gives you in performance and looks, and what it's able to do not only on the track but also out on a general drive. Now, the Grandsport was birthed in 1963, but its beginning started in 1960 when then Chief Engineer Zora Arkus Duntov actually entered in 3 Corvettes into the 24 Hours of Le Mans. And there he put the Europeans on notice by taking 1st and 8th place. And at that point it stood on the pedestal with not only the Maserati and the Ferrari and the Porsche, but it began to turn the tide as far as American cars on the track. Now, Zora had planned in 1963 to build 125 of the very first Grandsport, and he wanted to actually put them in the 1963 24 Hours to Le Mans, but GM pulled the plug as far as on any of the auto racing within its structure. Zora, not allowing that to really go to waste, got those 5 cars out to other proven racers, and they took them cars and they began to race them around the world, and were setting records on tracks and competing with cars that were a lot more expensive than they were at the time. 33 years passed to 1996, and we see the resurgence of the Grandsport. Even though it only lasted a year in production, it was a competitive theme where they only made 1,000 of those. We then have to fast forward another 14 years to 2010, when we seen the C6 Grandsport that was released, and it took the entire Corvette community by storm. You know, the Grandsport's always been known not only as a focused track car, but it also comes with power that is totally manageable. Now, today I'm here with my wife's 2017 Grandsport Collector's Edition, and this was revealed in Geneva whenever the C7 Corvette was Grandsport was revealed, and this is outfitted with the tension blue interior as well as the tension blue hash marks. You have tension blue stitching throughout the roof, and the Alcantara, which is all over inside of this car. It's actually amazing. The steering wheel, all of the inserts within the seats, the A-pillars, as well as the dashboard. And this particular car right here is outfitted with the carbon ceramic brakes. The car is also fitted with the Stage 3 aero package, which comes with the larger winglets in the back as well as the wicker bill. It also comes with the front Stage 3 splitter and side winglets, along with the continual rocker panels. That this car came traditionally with the 3/4 rockers, but we wanted to change that out. And really, the way this car is now set up, it looks exactly like a Z06. People want to say, you know, Chuck, that's just a fake Z06, and you know, that's, you know, why does GM come out with a car that's 200 less horsepower and, you know, want to sell it for about $15,000 less? Well, that just answered your question. Not everybody wants to have 650 horsepower. Not everybody is ever going to even use that kind of horsepower. Guys, let's take this out on the road and give it a drive, and I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on the Grandsport versus the other cars that I've owned in the Corvette edition, and why I think this is definitely a Corvette that you should consider if you're thinking about buying one. You may be someone who has come across this channel and you're thinking about getting a Corvette. Maybe currently you own a Mustang, maybe you own a Porsche, maybe you own some type of Mopar product, and you've really been saying to yourself, you know, I really want, you know, I've never owned a Corvette and I want to get one, but which Corvette do I buy? Well, there's going to be some different factors that are going to come into play with all of that. You know, if we all could just get what we want, we would probably get a ZR1 or a, you know, a Z06, or, you know, maybe even a Grandsport. You know, it really comes down to a lot of it budget, Some of it also comes down to preference. Some people are old school. They like the narrower body style, which you will get with the Stingray. When you get up into the Grandsport and the Z06 and the ZR1, you're going to be more into the wide body platform. You know, the Z06 and the Grandsport look very similar to one another. You know, the only difference is one has a LT4 supercharged V8, and the other one is, you know, an LT1 8-cylinder that, you know, puts out 460 horsepower. So when I'm talking about the Grandsport and why I think this is the perfect Corvette for you, if you're thinking about getting into a Corvette, or maybe you own a Stingray and you're thinking about coming up and you want to make that jump to a Grandsport. I've talked to people who have a Z06 and they've come down to a Grandsport. And you may say, well, Chuck, you know, that's kind of stupid. Why would someone who has that much power come to something that doesn't have as much power? Well, power, it's not all about power. You know, people, you know, you're going to have guys out there, oh God, you know, who would want a Grandsport, you know, and, you know, for $15,000 more, you can get a supercharged Z06. Well, what I love about the Grandsport is you can use all of the 460 horsepower. I mean, you can hit it, and I mean, it will go. It's responsive. It's got that quickness. You know, what it doesn't have is that long-term acceleration power that you're going to get in a Z06. But this, what I love about it is not one time, my wife, you know, I've driven it a few times. She drives it a lot. People have always said, Chuck, that you bought that for yourself, not your wife. No, I bought it for my wife so that her and my 2 sons could come with me when I go to Corvette events, and that's allowing us to do that. And I wanted her to have something that, you know, looked great, something that I knew she would enjoy driving, and this is kind of she loves driving it. You know, she drove my Z06 and she was kind of scared of it, you know, because there was a few times that she got on it and the back end would start flying all over the place, and, you know, it just scared her. You know, one thing about this, yes, this car, 460 horsepower, is a lot of horsepower. I mean, it is a lot. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, who are in the Corvette community, you know, understand that, you know, each one of these cars in their own platform and in their own ways are very special. And the Grandsport, to me, I think gives you the best of all the worlds. It gives you everything that a Z06 does outside of the supercharger, so you get that look, you get that wider body stance. I mean, if you want to go at it, I mean, the power on it is, I mean, it's just fun. You know, when you slam on the gas of a Z06 and a ZR1, it is very in your face. Yes, the ZR1 puts the power down, to me, a lot smoother. It is an acceleration like a missile taking off. The Z06 is kind of like, you know, that guy in the bar that just wants to fight everybody and is just in your face. That, to me, that's what a Z06 is like. The Grandsport, you know, just, you know, as well as the Stingray, you just feel like you're, I don't know, it's just like you can floor it and you're not worried about anything. You can, you know, take corners very quickly in this car. You know, it's just, I don't know, to me, the feel of this car feels totally different than the Z06 or the ZR1, and it should, because it does have less power, but it's all of it's very manageable power. Now, when it comes to buying a brand new Corvette, you know, unless you just have a really good relationship with someone there locally, you know, most dealerships, if you go in there, maybe they have, you know, 2 or 3 Corvettes, and you start asking questions and they just look at you like, I don't know. They start reading the window sticker. They don't know anything about Corvettes. You know, many times you'll go in there and know more about the Corvette than they will. And if you want to take a test drive, you know, they just kind of, they just don't get real excited about it. I don't know why they don't like selling Corvettes, many dealerships, but it's almost like, you know, hey, we've got these on our lot because GM makes us carry a few of these, and we've got to be able to work on them and service them and so forth. But I highly recommend either Rick Corvette Conti, who has a YouTube channel, I will have him linked below, or Mike Furman. To know him over the last few months, me and him have exchanged some emails, and some people that have watched the video had purchased some Corvettes from him because I had mentioned him in a past video. Me and Rick are very tight. just simply because I've done business with him. I know how he works. So many of you guys who have dealt with him, you know, make sure you guys leave some comments below. Let other people see. People read the comments on these. Let us know what your experience was, you know, with these guys, and how they handled you, and how easy it was for you to buy it and have it shipped to your house. Because again, if you're buying one of these and you're thinking, you know what, Chuck, I may never buy another one again, just don't go down and buy one to buy a Corvette. At that point, order one, get exactly what it is that you want. Why I think the Grandsport is a perfect Corvette for anybody who's thinking about buying a Corvette is because it's a great value. You get the looks, you get great power. I mean, what more am I to say? I mean, you can just, you're just sitting here and all of a sudden you just smash it. I mean, and it is just so much fun to drive this car. I mean, that quick. I mean, the more and more I drive this Grandsport, the more and more I just love it. And me, I've always had the power, the Z06 or now the ZR1, and this right here just feels like so much fun to drive. So if you have a Grandsport or maybe you have a Stingray, let people know below what your experience is with the car. How do you like driving it? What do you like most about it? Because that's really what my channel is built upon. It's built upon helping people not only understand and experience the Corvette community. That's why I take you with me every time I go out on a Corvette event with my vet club, showing you how-to videos, getting out and driving, making this isn't really a review of this car. It's more of why I think this should be the car that you should purchase if you want to buy a Corvette. Now, also this next June 23rd, I'm going to be down in Allen, Texas, doing a meetup with some of you guys. If you are brand new to the channel and you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or somewhere in Texas and you want to come be a part of the meetup, or you want to come up and say hi, we're going to be meeting at the Target there in Allen, Texas at 12 o'clock, between 12 and 1 on Saturday, June 23rd. So if you'd like to just stop by, you don't have to go on the cruise with us, or outside, just stopping by, and I'd love to meet you. If you've got a Corvette or you got a cool car, we'll get some pictures, maybe get a little bit of footage of it for a future video. But I look forward to seeing everybody down there. I'm excited. I'm bringing a pretty good sized little caravan with me down there. Some other Corvettes are going to be meeting me along the way. We've got a couple of vet clubs that are going to be participating. We got people coming up from San Antonio. We've got Houston. I believe the gentleman's from Austin. Another guy from Lubbock. So looking forward to meeting you guys and just enjoying and checking out your cars and getting out on the road and doing what we love to do, and that's cruise. Guys, that's today's video. I want to thank you for stopping by. I hope each and every one of you have a blessed rest of your week. Now, let's check out some of those beautiful rides. I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I can't wait to see you Hindsight is fleeting when your heart's bleeding and all you can see is red, till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends.
If I had known then, or what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I